Hi, phone. I write to you between audio messages and lockets, delayed texts and hastily wrapped gifts. I trust you asked, and I want to tell you more. I want to tell you about the forest, about the land here and how it's receiving me. I want to tell you about the woman I met in the trees, Stella, and how we met each other in our arrivals. I want to tell you about arrival, the many I have had in the last month, the ones I am still working on, still unpacking into. I want to tell you I'm okay, that my heart is weeping and my spirit is cartwheeling through fields, all while I adorn my body in black skirts and silver loops. I want to tell you I am mourning, I am accepting, I am no longer afraid to be seen. I want to tell you this so it can be true. I want to tell you so I can be true. I want to tell you because I miss you and I want you to know. This week, I arrived in my first week as a creator in residence at Sanctuary, which is a fancy way of saying my friends steward this resident space and land in the forest of Stone Mountain, Georgia, and I get to live here for the next 2 months with community and land and spirit all encouraging me along in my creation. And I did arrive here feeling encouraged, feeling hopeful, feeling all was conspiring for me, even my heartache. All of it was directing me deeper towards myself and the loved ones I orbit. And so I've been settling deeper into Raya, into this arrival, into acceptance. Yeah, I don't know. I felt really nervous about leaving New York because I felt so loved there and I felt so with my people there. And even if I feel less of that same energy here, I am being so received by this land, and I think that it is, Atlanta really so much is for me about the maternal, and I feel in it, feel in that womb of the forest. It's such a blessing. I'm on a walk. I hope you can hear the birds. Wow, that one's really beautiful. I really hope you heard it. And just, I want to cry. This land is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Settling into the crowd, I'm accepting that this is the world I live in. This is the life. This is the body. I think I'd like to spend less energy and brain space processing that and reacting to the very startling sensation of being a body in this life, in this world. Read, reaction is different than response. If I spend less time in that purgatory between denial and acceptance, I can spend more energy actually making and shaping my life in this world. This body needs less shaping. Again, accepting that in this life, I have been dealt these legs, these eyes, this hair, these lips, and actually my energy is best spent past acceptance. In that work of moving in more deeply to this shape, learning what colors and textures I like to adorn it with, how it moves in certain rhythms and stretches to others. And in this life and this world, if I sit more deeply into my experience of it, really be present with the fact that I am in Rio, sitting on the beach in a crowd of over 2 million people on MDMA, waiting to hear Shakira. That is me right now. In this life, where this is what queer little mixed American girls do. They fly away to Brazil to soak in the sea and ponder diaspora and recreate a career. In a world where hot girls posting travel photos and bikini ass shots is directly linked to monetizing a war that drops bombs on starving children, this is the world I am in, that I participate in. And this life and this body is the one I experience it through. And the more I accept it, both my surroundings and my location in them, the best I can actually be an active player. Can be taking action to reshape the environment and the choreography of its infrastructures. And that, I think, is what Kalma is about. It's about calming the tantrum of realizing my existence, of realizing I am married to myself and that in this experience, I will always be this character. The more I accept this role, the better I can play it. Yesterday, in conversation with Joshua, Diana, Zai, and Ayana, the repeated theme seemed to be my need for self-acceptance, for trusting in who I am and that the people I love trust in that too. The prompts and the work I am excited to do are asking me to be public, to share what I'm imagining, what I'm doing, how I'm practicing. The friends I invite into conversation and witnessing tell me all the time how they are changed, motivated, encouraged by me and my existence. Why wouldn't I share this? So much of this, Ayana pointed out, is a fear of me grieving in public. Extremely ironic given that collective grief is a core component of mournful design. As she has said and reminds me, we often need our own medicine. Arriving home in LA, New York, and Atlanta, everyone says I have a glow, that I'm glowing. I'm not sure if it's the lingering Brazilian tan, the afterglow of making a hard but true decision, or the shine of a deep arrival into self. But somehow, there's a light in me. I'm shy to receive this witnessing, and even shyer to recount it, but more I'm curious about my light, and curious about my relation to it. I'm curious what in me is shining so bright that everyone can see. And how silly then that each time it's witnessed, my reaction is to blush, to curve my shoulders in, put my hand to my chest, as if to cover, to hide that light and say, wait, really? Me? You silly girl! You forget yourself. You forget yourself. Why don't I see my own light if I feel it? Why don't I accept that to be light and to offer it to others will require this kind of witnessing? Lately, I've been learning to name my fear of being in public, of publicity. It's why I struggle to share my writing, to smile for a camera, to let my voice sway the flow of plans. It's cringe to be me, to be on display because I have seen all my contradictions. Trust me, I have studied them. But still, I fear you seeing them too. Pointing them out, reflecting them back to me, because in that I assume a judgment, a punishing God, a tone of, well, why didn't you fix this part first? Why don't you edit that part out? As I practice loving another with acceptance and non-judgment, I realize how unpracticed I am at offering that to myself, at forgiving myself before anyone else has to. I feel a real desire for this. One, for that forgiveness and permission. I remember when I was 22, newly arrived in LA, still trying to make it as an artist in the fine arts world, and I was on the phone with a curator, and I asked her if I was allowed. She told me that she nor anyone else would give me the permission I was seeking. That permission to make and to do so out loud, in front of everyone. I had to give that to myself. 5 years and many homes later, I still seek that permission. Still evade this responsibility to myself and search the globe for some other entity to grant me what I self-deny. I still want for that permission to make, probably why I seek out containers like residencies. But more than permission, I want forgiveness. Forgiveness for, and then permission to be me. To contain all this contradiction of nationality, class, gender, sex, race, time, presence, and being. That's all I can find this all to be. A deep, deep contradiction. A brewing contrast. I feel so at my surface in the work I am doing. I find myself shy in public. Shy that if anyone looks closer, they'll see right through to it all. Right through inside to me. I am so full of my soul and spirit. The energy is pushing right to my edges, making my skin a thin, translucent veil, a soft film wrapped around the flesh of a glowing star. You say I have a glow because you see how I burn inside. You see the combustion of past selves rendered new, a star in constant self-consumption and becoming, a fiery morning. I no longer want to shy away from my light, so dear one, will you let me grieve with you? Can we grieve together? I felt my character-defining yearning for home so strong before I left. Some of y'all know I was fully in the process of buying a house and land. And now, returning through all my home cities, LA, New York, Atlanta, I feel less of it. And I don't necessarily even feel arrived more in one place than the other, not even back at home finally. Each one felt like a stage of arrival. Departing Brazil, I yearned to return to my friends, my communities, the forest, my family, and all of those are scattered around those three places. Arriving in them all now, I feel no different and completely changed. I feel returned. I think I used to go to sleep every day wondering if I would wake up a new person. And so I decided if the opportunity came, I would be prepared. With all the microanalyses of life, self, society, I would be able to make the correct calculation of who I would become in that new morning. And I am remade each day, each new morning. And also, I always remain. I am this, is she, is we. I know I will become an iteration in many lifetimes, in different instances, but in this case, in this instance, I am Raya. Even as I shape-shift and toggle through surnames and usernames, I will still be this character. With her many contradictions, her past, presence, and futures, there is an inescapable truth of me. So I might as well get on board. Embrace the shapes and the flavors, play with this material, this voice and this body. I might as well make magic. I might as well make magic. Maybe a non-judgmental, accepting love showed me how to love myself. Maybe separation from work and that exchange for a glorified part of myself allowed for a deeper release and detachment from ego. Maybe I just needed to breathe. Needed to write it all down to see it outside myself. Maybe I needed to bake on the beach and get comfortable with the shape of my body. Maybe Brazil taught me about contrast and contradiction, about intimacy and the vibrancy of connection without fear or promise. Maybe this is the answer we all knew was coming. And I did know the answer was coming, that the home was the self. I cringed whenever a witness to my yearning for home would return with the answer, well, no, you're the home. Wherever you go, you have yourself. That's the home you crave, the home you have wherever you go. But yes, I know. And also, I want a door and a room and a bed and a kitchen and a garden and a place to call my own. A place to invite you over for dinner. I want a people and a place and a land to give thanks to, a land to come from, a land to belong to and store memory in. I want rites and rituals and a culture not borrowed or imagined or forgotten, one passed on and known and retold. I want the home that was stolen, the home erased, forgotten, drowned. And I'll always want for that. And that desire for home and this gift for homemaking and interim will always guide me and draw me closer and closer to self and all of her iterations, spirals, and quantum truths. But for once, I don't want the question of home to distract me from the visions I can realize now, from soaking in the home of right here. Right here. And so lately I have been facing my ego, seeing how it challenges me with narratives towards shape-shifting fear, comparison, punishment, self-silencing. Scribbling through journals in the morning as I write out and release the inner dialogue, I come to find home beyond the mind, beyond the body, which I think is the self-home they were talking about, and find it somewhere deeper in myself, in this iteration called Raya.